I am Air Vice Marshal Debo Odunlade, retired, a career fighter pilot with combat experiences and a master's degree in strategic studies. However, nothing in my years of service prepared me for the battle for life I faced on the 3rd of May 2017. It was the day I collapsed and recovered. I died few hours later, and immediately I found myself in hell, but God later pulled me out. After another few hours I died again, went to heaven, and God sent me back with this message. I quote, "I am coming very soon. I'm coming very soon. Go and tell my children I am coming very soon." Unquote. The 3 incidents took place within 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. same day. I served in various strategic capacities, including the Chief of Training and Operations and Commandant of the Air War College, amongst others, before my retirement from the Nigerian Air Force in 2016. The dying experiences took place in a hospital under the glare of medical consultants and other witnesses. With my pedigree, I am competent to give a true account of the out-of-the-body experience I had. Fortunately, all the 3 world religions that practice monotheism, namely Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, are looking forward to the coming of Jesus Christ.
By 7 a.m. on the 3rd of May 2017, my wife rushed me to Nisa Premier Hospital in the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria due to the high fever I had developed overnight. Tests confirmed malaria parasites plus, with a temperature of 39.5 degrees Celsius. I was treated and placed under observation. I felt much better thereafter, so I expected to be discharged the same day. On the contrary, by 11 a.m., I was placed on admission, and my sister joined my wife to stay with me in the ward. As I stood up to visit the restroom, a strange sensation surged through my head, and instinctively, I shouted and lost consciousness instantly. I regained consciousness as 2 men were lifting my limp body onto the bed. Notably, I could not account for the period I was unconscious. My sister later recounted how she rushed to hold me when I shouted. I collapsed into her arms, and she lowered me on the floor, as a team of medical specialists scrambled to attend to me and placed me back on the bed. The incident made my health to deteriorate rapidly into an emergency. 4 medical consultants were on my case, and they did their best. However, about 2 hours later, without any warning, I was suddenly in total darkness, falling at an unimaginable speed. It was so dark that I lost orientation completely. After a long while, I started hearing sounds faintly from a distance, growing louder as I descended into it. I could not see those groaning because of the thick darkness. It was unlike anything I had ever heard. A chorus of despair that resonated with unbearable agony. The lower I fell, the louder the groaning became, until it was deafening and unbearable. Suddenly, I blacked out, and thereafter, my eyes opened. I was on my hospital bed. Later, the doctors informed me that I went into a septic shock, during which my body jerked profusely and relapsed thereafter. According to him, I was revived through an aggressive resuscitation procedure. Septic shock is a condition where infection ravages the blood, and in the bid to fight the infection, the white blood corpuscles destroy the red blood cells as well, until there is insufficient blood to sustain life. Then the body goes into a state of shock shortly before dying. Even with immediate intervention, the survival rate is grim, only 50%. 6 liters of a drip had been forced into my veins in the process of aggressive resuscitation, a last-ditch effort to revive me, which is known to have major side effects. Most, if not all, that survived aggressive resuscitation from septic shock died within a year or 2 after because of the associated side effects, with very rare exceptions. As it appeared that I was recovering well, a consultant counseled me to prepare me emotionally for the side effects to expect, such as the loss of function of some vital organ, and that I might be on a wheelchair for a very long time, with no expectations for life to ever be the same again. As though what I experienced was not enough, about 2 hours later, my sight fizzled out. People around me appeared like trees. Then I passed out. Those in the ward noticed the indicators on the electronic monitoring scope connected to me go flat, indicating that my heart had stopped beating. My wife and sister were asked to leave the ward, and I was covered up. I, on the other hand, found myself falling at the speed of light, from a place beyond my comprehension. Below me stretched an endless sea beyond my eyes could see. I was gripped with fear, expecting to shatter upon hitting the waves, but instead, I skimmed across the sea at same speed. I crossed onto a vast sea of glass. A long while later, my momentum ceased abruptly, and I was brought to my knees with my palms flat against the crystal-clear glass surface. Down upon the glass I knelt was Isaiah chapter 58 inscribed under me. Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift your voice like a trumpet. Tell my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. I had enough time to look at myself. I noted that I was naked, slightly taller, and my complexion lighter. Most strikingly, I had no genitals, with no memory of where I had come from and no identity beyond the present moment. After a long wait, a voice thundered from above, accompanied by lightning, saying, "I am coming very, very soon. I am coming very, very soon. Go and tell my children that I am coming very, very soon." There was no sun, no moon, no stars, but the sky was so brilliant and well decorated with all the colors of the rainbow. The air was filled with a fragrance so pure it defied description, and in the distance was a great mountain range with a reddish-brown hue. Then, in the blink of an eye, I was somewhere else. This time, I stood clothed in white, gazing across a great, impassable gulf. On the other side, I saw the world, saw people. I saw how many abandoned their faith for the fleeting pleasures of the world. Their lust for wealth, power, and immorality consumed them, and the devil wasted no time in claiming his own. A woman, once devoted to her faith, now stood at the edge of temptation. She hesitated, then stepped forward into the world's embrace. Suddenly, a dark door materialized beside her, and from it emerged a man with an imposing figure, clad in the garment of wealth and affluence. Without warning, he seized the woman and flung her into the abyss. The door slammed shut behind her, vanishing as though it had never existed. I wept, my heart breaking for the souls lost to deception. As sudden as it had begun, it ended. Around 8 p.m., I opened my eyes on the hospital bed. A stillness settled over me, a peace so profound that I knew without a doubt that the ordeal was over. Blood was immediately transfused into me, and I was moved into the intensive care unit. I was discharged after 5 days with all my organs tested and working well. I walked out on my 2 legs, not on a wheelchair. Praise the Lord. Those that recovered from septic shock died within a year or 2 from health complications. However, 8 years after, I remain whole and healthy. I am a living testimony to the power of God's divine intervention and miracle. The Lord is coming very, very soon, I declare. Are you ready? God did not send me to any religious groups, but to his children. God calls every one of us his child and sees us as such. Psalm 82, verse 6, I have said, "Ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High." This was also corroborated when Jesus taught his disciples how to pray with the starting phrase, "Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." Every man is a spirit housed in a body. Therefore, when a man dies, his spirit does not die because it is from God. It either goes back to God or goes to hell. which is destined for Satan and his followers. Hell is not a destination to be. It is better to never have been born than to enjoy the best of life. Be the most powerful man, president, general, business tycoon, etc., on earth just to end up in hell. Anyone that ends up in hell has lost everything, including the memories of what he had enjoyed on earth. Where you end up after death is your decision. Those who have rejected God and live as if there is no God are only living in self-delusion and will end up in hell unless they repent. Are you a child of God? Do you want to become a child of God? John chapter 1, verse 2. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believes on his name. After recovery, I decided to investigate if the places I found myself during my dying experiences were in the Bible, and indeed they were. The sea of glass is before the throne of God in the highest heaven. Revelation 4, 5 through 6. And out of the throne proceeded lightning and thunderings and voices. And there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. And before the throne there was a sea of glass, like unto crystal. Like Daniel, I was brought down upon my feet and palms before the Lord. Daniel 10:10. And behold, a hand touched me, which set me upon my knees and upon the palms of my hands. The great mountain I saw ahead of me is in heaven. Revelation 21:10-11. And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me the great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God. Her light was like a most precious stone, like a jasper stone, clear as crystal. I had no genitals in heaven, and no marriage in heaven. Mark 12:25. For when they shall rise from the dead, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels which are in heaven. I arrived in heaven's stack naked. We came to the world naked and with nothing. We shall go naked and with nothing. Ecclesiastes 12:7-8. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto God who gave it. Vanity of vanities, saith the preacher, all is vanity. Hell is real, I was there. Matthew 25:30. And cast the unprofitable servant into the outer darkness. There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Psalm 9:17. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. I arrived before God alone. No bishop, pastor, sheikh, or imam will be there to stand for you. You will stand before God alone. Ignorance is not an excuse. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. When you seek the truth indeed, you shall find the truth. There will be no excuse for missing heaven or going to hell. Similarly, there will be no excuse for not being prepared for Jesus' second coming. He is coming very soon. Be ready.